Hello students, welcome to the physics class of class 12. Our first topic for today is potential energy of a system of charges. We consider a charge q1 is at position vector r1 and charge q2 is at position vector r2 with respect to some arbitrary origin. r12 is the displacement vector. Here in the diagram we see q1 and q2 two charge and r12 vector is the displacement vector. When we bring the first charge q1 at r1 from infinity, the work done is 0 as there is no field present. Now this charge will produce a potential at any point P is given by V1 equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 by r1p. r1p is the distance of the point P from q1. Now bringing the q2 charge from infinity to r2 position vector, the work done will be W21 equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r12. r12 is the distance between q1 and q2 charges. This work done is stored as potential energy in the system of charges. অতএব the potential energy of a system of two charges q1 and q2 is U equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r12. Next, for the product of the two charge q1 into q2 greater than 0, potential energy is positive. For q1 into q2 less than 0, potential energy is negative. Next topic, for a system of three charges. Here in the diagram we see 3 point charge q1, q2 and q3, and these are the respective displacement vectors, and these are also the distance between the charges. q1, q2 and q3 charges with position vectors r1, r2 and r3. To bring q1 at r1 from infinity, the work done and hence the potential energy is 0. To bring the q2 at r2 from infinity, the work done in this step is q2 into v function of r2 equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r12. This is equation number 1. This v1 potential is due to the first charge q1. Now q1 and q2 charges produce potential P is given by V12 equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 by r1p plus q2 by r2p. Now the work done in bringing the q3 charge at position vector r3 from infinity is q3 v12 function of r3 equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q3 by r13 plus q2 q3 by r23. This is equation number 2. Here this potential v12 at position vector r3 is due to the charge q1 and q2. Now the total work done in the whole process is the sum of these two equations 1 and 2. So the total energy of the system is U equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r12 plus q1 q3 by r13 plus q2 q3 by r23. Next topic, potential energy of a single charge. We consider an electric field E here and in which a point charge Q is moving. External electric field is E. We consider a point charge Q move in the field. Potential energy for this moving charge Q in the field E is Q into V function of R. V is the potential due to the electric field E. So we write 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 capital Q into small q by R. This capital Q is the origin of the electric field E, where R is the position vector of the charge small q with respect to the source charge capital Q. If the moving point charge Q is electron having charge 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb and the potential difference due to the electric field E is 1 volt, then the energy gained equal to Q into del V equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. This is called 1 electron volt. This is a useful unit for the energy of a moving charge. Next topic, potential energy of a system of two charges in an external field. We consider 2-point charge q1 at position vector r1 and q2 at position vector r2. To bring q1 at r1, the work done is q1 v function of r1. This potential v is due to the external field. Now to bring q2 at r2 against the external field E and the field due to q1 at r1, the work done should be done by the external force equal to q2 v function of r2 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r12. This first term is for the external field and this second term is for the q1 charge at the position vector r1. अतएव the total potential energy equal to total work done equal to the sum of the two work done, q1 v function of r1 plus q2 v function of r2 plus q1 q2 by 4 pi epsilon 0 r12. Now potential energy of a dipole in an external field. Here in the diagram we see electric dipole minus q and plus q in the presence of the electric field E. The charges are separated by a distance 2a. The dipole moment vector p make an angle theta with the electric field E. So if we consider this point as the midpoint of the dipole, then this part is a cos theta 1/2. This is the projection of this part of the dipole moment, and this minus a cos theta is the negative part of the projection of the dipole moment vector in this side. The dipole experience a torque tau given by tau equal to p cross E. This we have learned in the first chapter. An external torque tau external is applied to make a angular rotation of angle theta 1 from theta 0 without acceleration. So the work done W equal to integration theta 0 to theta 1 tau ext theta d theta equal to integration theta 0 to theta 1 pe sin theta d theta. Pe is a constant, so it will be out of integration, and if we perform the integration on sin theta d theta, we have minus cos theta from theta 0 to theta 1. If we solve, finally we get W equal to pe cos theta 0 minus cos theta 1. Now we consider from geometry that theta 0 equal to pi by 2. Potential energy of the dipole is 0. So the final potential energy of the dipole is u theta equal to pe cos pi by 2 minus cos theta equal to minus pe cos theta. In vector notation we can write potential energy equal to minus p dot e. This is a dot product of the two vectors, so the result will be a scalar quantity. Next, this example can be alternatively be understood also from the previous example. So this one we do like this one. Potential energy u dash function of theta equal to q into v function of r1 minus v function of r2 minus q square by 4 pi epsilon 0 into 2a. We consider plus q charge at position vector r1 minus q charge at the position vector r2. So we can write v function of r1 minus v function of r2 equal to minus e into 2a cos theta. So the potential energy u dash function of theta equal to minus pe cos theta minus q square by 4 pi epsilon 0 2a. In vector notation we can write minus p dot e minus q square by 4 pi epsilon 0 into 2a. Now we see that u dash function of theta is different from u theta by a quantity which is just a constant for a given dipole. Since a constant is insignificant for potential energy, we can drop the second term of u dash function of theta. Here this second term is missing in this equation because it is a constant quantity for any particular dipole, so we can drop in the calculation of potential energy. Next topic, electrostatics of conductor. These are few properties of conductor in electrostatics. That means the current is not moving, charges are not moving. First, inside a conductor, electric field is zero. If the field is not zero, the electrons of the conductor will experience force and drift that will create a current, but in the static condition there will be no current inside or on the surface of the conductor. So at the static condition, field inside the conductor will be zero. Next, second one, at the surface of the conductor, field must be normal. Here in the diagram we see electric field making an angle theta with the surface. So we can resolve it into two rectangular component, E cos theta and E sin theta. If at the conductor surface electric field is not normal, then it has a rectangular component along the surface. So the free electrons will experience force due to this, but in static condition no current will flow. So E must be normal to the conductor surface. Here, due to this E cos theta component, the electrons will experience force and they will move, but in static condition no electron should move. So this electric field E must be normal, it should not make an angle theta at the surface of the conductor. Third one, the interior of the conductor can have no excess charge in static condition. No excess charge in the interior region of the conductor at the static condition, excess charge only at the surface. Fourth point, electrostatic potential is constant throughout the volume of the conductor and has the same value as inside on its surface. As the electric field is zero inside the conductor and have constant value on the conductor surface, work done in moving a test charge between 2 points require no work. This indicate that potential is constant. Next topic, electric field at the surface of a charged conductor. We consider a surface of a conductor and in which we consider an elemental surface area delta S. The electric field is normal here. Let sigma is the surface charge density. Now from the Gauss's law, E delta S equal to sigma ds by epsilon naught. So after calculation we have E equal to sigma by epsilon naught.